Hi designers, welcome to my channel. It's me, Sharif Rahman, your Figma mentor, and I have a good background in UX UI and as well as product. If you want to know more about me at sharifrahman.com, you can see my beautiful portfolio. So today I'm gonna share about variable. The variables are introduced recently Figma, and variables are powerful weapon to create a healthy design system, that drives consistency. And we are proud to say I'm a Figma designer because I'm a UX UI designer, product designer, web designer, and whatever. But after introducing dev mode, it's also for engineers because the dev mode depend on how you construct your variable. So that's really help your engineers because they can create, or we already help them to create uh, a very simple code, and they can use that code and they can work on their project. So after introducing dev mode or variable collection, it's a hand in hand situation because on the other side designers and on the opposite side developers. So it's really helped both of us, a designer and engineers. So I'm excited to share my experience in variable. So without any delay, let's get started. So there are two type of collection we need to create when you are working on your next project or existing project. So you can see we have two collection. That is, one is called a primitive collection. A primitive collection hold the information directly, while reference variables store a link to information associated with. So which means it's an initial part of collection. So I will show you the reference how you can create a primitive collection. And very important thing is naming is very essential when you are working for Figma, and variables, components, whatever you're working on any Figma, the naming is very important. So the primitive collection, basically, we are focusing on naming. I can show you the example of primitive names. These are primitive collection name. You can see I just named them black 50, black 100, black 200, and below you can see some brand colors. So that indicate we only start from this, and it's mostly using our style guides because you can see your style guides, a color name, and we name them in numbers because it's really help us to communicate with other teammates. And we start from this, and it's only for colors. We have numbers and text. So the primitive collection is an initial part of this variable collection. I will show you after introducing our semantic collection and why we using primitive and names. Semantic, also known as tokenization. You know, the semantic we use, we already mentioned we primitive color, we use black 50. And when we are working on our design collection, we need to mention other designers or our engineers what's the purpose of this black 50. So it may be using for our text or background or button. So many things we need to mention them what's the purpose of this color. I will show you the example, the basic example of how you can create your semantic or tokenization collection. You can see we have primary, secondary, and heavy contrast. So primary, we use it brand color, mostly primary. So surface primary means this, we use this color for our background. And also remember, when you are naming a semantic names, never use shortcut. If you are writing name, if you are writing them properly, surface primary, never say shortcut SURF and PRMY because it's really confuse other teammates. So these are my explanation about this name collection. Don't worry, maybe you are confusing, maybe you are chaotic, but I will show you or demonstrate how you can create a design variable collection your existing or next project. So I'm gonna create our first variable collection. To create first variable collection, you need to deselect all of your frame. Then you can see our right side panel. You can only see local variable, local styles, export pages. So these are our design panel. So you can see this our variable collection. We, we can only create from here, and also we have other area for creating, but it's an standard for creating and it's quite handy if you are creating variable from here. So you can see this our model. So we can create our first variable from here. The mostly variable are using for text, numbers, and colors. You can see here color, number, string, and a boolean. And the color specifically using for our color purpose, number, we can use space, radius, auto layout, maximum width, and strings are using text and the numbers in our variant collection. And the boolean or as everybody know, it's a toggle. So I'm gonna just create our first variable and I'm starting from our color. So you can see this our first area when you are hit your variable collection, and I'm gonna name them blue, and I'm gonna name them for blue 500, and I'm gonna once again create other for time saving. I'm just gonna copy and 600. You know, it's really help us when you are working on your project because the digit really help us the variation of our color. So we have created our first variable for our color and we can group them. For that, just click our initial and just select our bottom. Then you can see these are our already selected, and right click on your mouse and you can see group new group with the selection, and I'm gonna name them color. So it's really help when if we have all variables and we have categorized the color, so we can categorize only colors and we can change when needed. Also, we need to create some numbers. For that, I'm just gonna select all variables and select numbers, and I'm gonna name them space 05 and name them 418. And for grouping them, select initial and end with our bottom. And once again, right click on your mouse and select, then new group with the selection and name them spacing. Also, we can collect one more number, right, for radius. So for that, Just gonna select small and 4. And large. So these are our numbers, and we just created our spacing, text, and also radius value. I'm gonna name radius. So we need to change our collection name. I already mentioned we need to start from our primitive collection, and then we can create our semantic or tokenization collection. So we need to change our collection name. For that, you can see on the right side dot and rename collection. So what gonna name for this collection? You know what I'm gonna name them. Yes, that is primitive collection. So this is our first collection, and I will show you how we can use this our primitive collection on our board or our UI design. So for that, you can see I have a button here, and you can see this is my fill. So now you can see this is our primitive collection. You can see this is our naming. We name them properly because we can communicate with other designers or engineers. So these are reason we use this primitive collection. Then I'm gonna select this color for this button, and I will show you after creating our semantic collection. So after clicking this, you can see on the right side panel what's name indicating on this color. You can see color slash blue 500. So this is our first collection we created primitive and we executed. So we can create another collection that is called tokenization or semantic. So for that, once again, deselect all of your frame, then open our variable collection, and you can see this is our primitive collection. Now, just click here and select create collection, and I'm gonna hit this collection name and name them semantic or tokenization. And I am more concerned about semantic, but most of are using tokenization. And I'm just gonna select our first create variable, and I'm gonna start from our color. Then I'm gonna type text black, and you know you can see this is our value. Value means we need color, and you can see initially we start with our color coding, but we don't need to repeat that. You can see this dialog box, and on the library side you can see this is our color. So black, text for black, and I'm gonna select black. Also you can see it's indicating first primitive collection, and on the below side you can see semantic collection. So I'm gonna select this black text, black color, and I'm gonna create another color, text white, and also go to library and select white. And I'm also creating some surface black. Oops. Surface white. Now we need to create some buttons. For that, I'm just going to create our beautiful button primary, oops, default, and I'm going to copy and select our library and the primary button I call blue 500. And once again, oops, oh my God, what I'm doing. Hover, then pressed or default. It's your pressed or active. You can name them whatever you want. So this is our variable collection we created for our color. I'm gonna name all of our variable because we don't have much time. And if I explain everything, it would be 1 hour. I don't have intention for that creating a lengthy content. We can select each text and we can name them properly text and the surface. Oops, once again, is our text and primary button. It's not essential because it's for using. We can re-edit after if we have any confusion for that. And I'm gonna create very simple number. For that, I'm start with radius. For that number, radius minimal and select value. You can see these are our radius. Radius full round. We can also create our some spacing none, spacing extra small, and we can name them. So these are our semantic collection, and I will show you the usage of this, our primitive collection and our semantic collection. So I'm gonna close this dialog, and we have already selected our button. If you want to select button directly, maybe it's more layer, and you can directly select your button. For that, press command. If you are using Windows, press Control and hover over here and select, then we can directly select our button. So this is our collection. We call it primitive collection and a color slash blue 500. And I'm gonna select this and we can name them. We have some semantic collection and we have primary button. So I'm gonna select this button color we have already chosen on our variable collection that is called semantic or tokenization. Now you can see other designers or developers. This color we use is primary button, primary default. So that means this is a primary button and it's indicating default. And when we want to hover, we can select our hover state and pressed state. So it's really help other teammates as well as engineers. And also, we need to create some corner radius. For that, I'm just gonna create a shape here and select one of our collection name. And you can see on the right side panel, you can see this icon. This icon means we can create our corner values. Instead of typing, we have already stored that value. For that, select, and you can see we have primitive collection and we have semantic collection. So I'm gonna select full radius value. Now you can see we created our corner radius value using our variables. How cool is that? And also we can create our spacing. You can see we have a standard spacing 32 pixel each, and you can see on the this chevron indicate we have another option to select our values. You can see apply variable. This is our stored value help us to create our variables collection we have stored. After hitting that, we can see our primitive collection and semantic collection. And I'm gonna select one of our spacing value, 8 pixel. You can see this is compressed or reduced our space value based on we stored our data. So the other thing is you have created our, yes, you can see this is our semantic collection we used, and sometimes you may be confused. The all of the frame in a, all of the details, all of the stored data in a single frame, and both are same. It's really hectic or confusing while you are working. So we can hide our primitive collection. For that, just deselect all of your frame, go to your local library and select your primitive collection and all select all of your collection, and you can see after selecting just right click on your mouse and select edit variable, and you can just put a command everything show in all supported properties, and also you can hide from it. Now after selecting our one of our button we have created, and we can see only our semantic collection. So we hide our primitive collection. And also I will show you how the important things using our variable. We have primitive collection and we have semantic collection. So I'm decided to change our primary color into instead of instead of blue, I'm gonna decide to change another color. So I'm gonna select our semantic color, our primitive collection, and select our blue. And instead of light blue, I'm gonna select this one. And also I'm gonna select hover state, this one, and as well as a pressed state. Now go to our button we have created. You can see the primitive collection definitely relied on our semantic collection. If we any change from our primitive collection, it will automatically affect our semantic collection. So these are very helpful when you are creating your variables. I know style guides really help us to create a consistent output, but if you have good knowledge of variable, it's really, really good for your workflow and its drive consistency that unlock quality and everything. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you like this video, please subscribe, share, and hit that bell icon button. So thank you for watching.